Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all all are having a really good day. Today I'm going to try to recreate a nail that I have done in the past. I forgot all the stuff that I've used, but here's what it looks like. It may not turn out the same, but I kind of really like this one. This one's one of my favorites. So let's get right into this video. First, I'm going to add a nail prep and clean. And then I'm going to add the acid-free primer. And we are going to be using acrylic today. Maybe some gel for a top coat, but sometimes things are hard to open over when you tighten them up. Okay. Now the first color that I am going to use for the base would be Cancun from the Carnival collection. So we're going to get in with that. Put some of this stuff up. This won't be in the way. And that would be our rooster outside. If y'all hear that noise in the background. Okay. I'm just going to pick up the bead. And I want to tell y'all that the acrylic that I'm using is the odorless. And all that it means with the odorless, not only that the odor doesn't bother as much, but it gives you a little bit more time to work with it. I really like it as far as the smell goes. It's easier to tolerate, which the smell from the other acrylic doesn't really bother me, but there's some people that can't hardly take the smell. So I'm just being a little bit, well, not just a little bit, but trying to think of those. Because it can get pretty strong. I'm honestly thought about adding some more clear acrylic to this, because I don't know what has happened, but it's like it don't want to. It's like the glitter. It's like it's all mainly glitter. which I guess it's alright because I'm going to add a clear acrylic over this before I start working on the other designs. I like how this nail's turning out. Very pretty. But I want to help those that are struggling doing the acrylic. All you're doing when you dip your brush in the jar of liquid, you want to just kind of brush it on the side a little bit. You want to get the excess liquid off the brush. And then you go in and you just kind of gently, slowly drag your brush so you get like a bead. And when you're applying it, it's a gentle patting motion. You do not want to just brush like a fingernail polish. It's a brush and sweeping motion. It's not like a fingernail polish brush. It's a lot more patting and sweeping down. It took me a long time to figure out how to do that. Which this is kind of acting as more glitter than acrylic, but like I said, that's alright. I'll add some clear over that, which sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just go in like it is. But when you do that, you lose a lot of the glitters when you're doing that. But that's what it looked like so far. All nice and glittery. I'm going to add a little bit more at the bottom. Which everybody has got their preference on how they like to do things. I have to go in with multiple beads to kind of get things to look how I want them to. But somebody can use like 2, or some people use 3. I go in with like multiple things because that's just how I like to do things. Sometimes I can get away with doing not as many beads, but anywho, let me make sure I got Yeah, I think it looks good. Excuse me. But anyways, I'll be right back with the next thing to do. I'm going to be using clear acrylic to place over the nail. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Now I'm going to go in with the clear. And by the way, the acrylic powders I'm using today is me a secret. I purchased those from Amazon. But I think you can go to the store and get some as well. I don't know if it's open to people that aren't licensed. I know some things you can buy even though you're not licensed, and there's some things that you actually have to have a license to get, but I know you can get it off Amazon. Okay. And like I said, I use multiple beads. If you have to use multiple beads, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're really good and you can do without doing that and accomplish the same goal, then that's good as well. Either way, you know, which I haven't had any nail training experience as far as watching YouTube videos, which those help too. If you're wanting to do something and be inexpensive with it, which I just prefer the inexpense. There's perks about doing your own nails, which it's also good to get out and go to the other businesses as well and help their business out. But it's also good to, like if you're not able to go out financially for a little while and you're needing something to kind of help you and you want your nails done. Which it started out with me collecting nail polishes with my grandma. I did that for many years. Like, I just wanted to get out. I'd go straight to the nail polish section at Walmart. And that's where I would, like, literally be at. Even when Mom and Dad would go to the store, like, I'd be at the nail polish section at Walmart. So, and then a bad day at school, you know, which we all have those days. If you're in school still and you have a bad day at work or in school or at work, it's just good to kind of find something to get your mind off of it. Well, this is the way I did it, and praying as well to God, to the Lord, to kind of help. But I had like a niche that I would like to do, or a niche, whatever you might want to call it, that would help is getting my mind off of it as well. Just gonna make sure I got plenty of acrylic on this, because I just want to put some more right here. I want to make sure that so, like I said, and then just over the years, I would look at all the collections for the Mia Secret and watch the videos online of how the products are used and all the color swatches. And I just really liked Mia Secret. And I discovered that it works better for me. And that the Walmart tip stuff that I bought, which those are good too. I'm not saying that those are bad. But I've noticed that the product does not want to move like it's supposed to, or like it should. And it takes a little bit more time as far as manipulating the bead around, and which that's alright too. If you buy one of those kits, I'm not saying nothing bad. I'm just saying the product might be a little bit more hard to manipulate the bead around to get it to do what you want. But if you can get it to do what you're wanting it to do, then that's good too. But I'm just explaining my experiences with the Walmart acrylic system. Like I said, in school, that was my go-to area. The nail section at Walmart with all the nail polishes, and that's what made my day right there. Is going to Walmart, and me and Grandma, that's how me and Grandma spent a lot of our time together. We had a lot of fun. Me and her would go and pick out the Sally Hansen, or my favorite one was OPI. It still is, though. I still use OPI, but I like to use the gel stuff now a little more because it dries quicker. You could just stick your finger in the UV lamp and cure your polish. But when you're using regular polish, you can't really stick your nails in the UV lamp, so it's like one little, you would sit for a while and then wait for your nails to dry, and then you get up, you think your nails dry, you get up and have to go do something, cook, throw some towels in the washer, and then you would actually, after you get through with all that, then you'd look at your nails and there'd be like a nick. I cannot stand that. I tell you what, like, there ain't nothing nothing worse than looking at your nails and seeing a nick where you had worked really hard. So you go to repair it, and I have no idea if any of y'all had the same experience as me, but you go and repair the nail, and then you sit for another few minutes and wait for it to dry, and then you get back up and do something else, and then another nick. So, like I said, there's pros and cons to each, I'm sure. But I'll see y'all in just a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for a minute, and I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of gently file. I'm not going to like go in and do any hardcore filing, because I'm just trying to do a little bit of shaping up before we apply the other stuff. So I'm just going to gently kind of smooth it out. And that's all you're doing pretty much. Regardless if you're using an electric file or if you're using a hand file, which I do have both, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to use that today. Maybe in future videos, but not this one. But the point of filing is to smooth it out just a little bit, like the bumps and stuff in the product. Which I want to do this before I start adding the flowers, or flour, whatever I choose to do. And sometimes you want to make sure there's no acrylic that's beside the nail that, or on the sides of the nail, that you don't want there. And sometimes you'll probably have to reshape the nail on the sides. Get that off, that little corner piece. I'm gonna go ahead and get this spot up here. It's a little okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take an alcohol swab, or like a little packet. You just kind of wipe the dust away. Okay, now we're going to go into the 3D portion of it. And the colors I'll be using for that: Yosemite, Sina Yosemite, the Mia Secret. I have no idea how to pronounce that. If y'all know how to pronounce it, that is just great. Because I have no idea. And this one is not in the Mia Secret brand, but it's like, it's a pearl powder. I thought that might be good for the centerpiece of the flower. Okay, so I'm just going to go in, gently wipe the sides off. Oh. And Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Okay. I can tell it's been a long time since I've done 3D. I'm just a pinch rusty. But that's alright. And I think back then I used the older, the one that had the older, when I did the 3D. Okay. Trying to go through and kind of do an outline on the petals. Okay. Feel like the pearl powder looks really good with this. which I still might have too much liquid in my brush. That might be why I'm having a little bit of difficulty here. Mm-hmm. Okay, there is that one. Think. Not too sure. I think I might want to do a couple of pearls maybe. Going across the nail. This isn't what I had on my previous design, but we can change it up just a little bit. Which everybody likes pearls. Well, some people do anyway. I like pearls. Some people like diamonds. Let me make sure this isn't... This is gonna stay where I put it. But any gentle way of telling me how I could do better with this would be appreciated. If anybody has any tips or anything. Please keep it friendly and not harsh. Because there's a right way to help somebody out, and then there's a wrong way to help somebody. Okay. Okay. I can tell I'm rusty with this. Doing 3D. I haven't done 3D in a long time. I haven't done 3D in a few years. Still pretty though. Kind of like the pearl. Like a little necklace type of thing. Kind of flowery. Kind of pretty. Okay. Now, I think that's all the pearls I want to put on there. Now I'm going to start adding, I guess, like the lace. I think I just kind of added little squiggles here and there to kind of probably mimic maybe like a lace, like a blouse. Okay. Of course, I've done a little bit different than when I last created that nail. Probably back in 2014. I did that nail, so it's been a hot minute, and it's 2025. But like I said, it is fun to go back and recreate some old designs. Of course, back then, I didn't do YouTube. I didn't post any of my artwork on YouTube. I pretty much kept it to myself as far as everything else goes. Which, now I'm really happy to share a lot of my work that I do. And I've actually found, just if you're doing artwork or any kind of work like this, as far as nail art, just have fun with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you mess up, you can always do it again or try again later. You know. Which, if you never mess up on anything, you can't ever learn anything. So, don't be scared to mess up. Like I said, just have fun with it. If you're going to create something, or recreate something you did in the past, like in this nail video, feel free to do it. Okay, I'm going to let this cure in the UV lamp, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to use the IB Intense Seal LED UV no cleanse top coat. I like this because there's no tacky layer that you would have to take off the nail. Okay, I put a little bit right in here on the side of the nail. Make sure I got the nail covered and capped real good. Okay, I'm going to cure this in the UV lamp, and I'll be right back to show you the final result. Here's how this nail turned out. I think it turned out really good. And this is the old nail. that I did a while back. So I kind of added a little bit extra to this nail, which is alright. And I've noticed when I started using the base colors and everything, it's not really the same colors that I've used back then, but that's alright. It's always good to switch it up. They do look similar, which is really the purpose of the video on recreating. It didn't really look the same as I did, but that's okay. And I've noticed I used the base color for the flower center, and this one I used another color, which is fine to do that as well. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope y'all have a good day. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.